Hi guys, back with another video for you today. We're talking about fruity fragrances you can wear in the summertime. Not everything is fresh, but you can wear these during the summer warmer months and you smell super amazing because some of these, even though they're deeper, they will shine in the heat. Find out about my 21 fruity fragrances you can wear in the summertime coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian talking to you about fruity fragrances for summer. Let me know if you have a favorite fruity fragrance. Add a comment below. And if there's something you're looking forward to discovering that is fruity focused that you can wear in the summertime, add that comment about that as well. So let's get started with the list. I've got a Christian Provenzano fragrance here. This is ROCCA, this one right here. So this is a super intense extrait de parfum fragrance, but it's a berry fruitiness. It does remind me a slight bit of the L'Artisan Parfumeur Musk they have with a berry fruitiness, but this is much more potent and intensified, and also like the fragrances that Christian Provenzano creates. So this has notes of moss, raspberry, musk, vanilla, caramel, peony, rose, saffron, and orange. So if you're looking for something super fresh, this might not be it. I pretty much consider fruits to be a fresh note, so that's why I like to wear fruity fragrances that might go deeper and richer. And this one, even though it's pretty intense and potent and has gourmand touches, I think it's super awesome during the summer months. It smells really great. It does dabble in gourmands a little bit. It is musky and mossy too, but that raspberry totally shines in this. This is Christian Provenzano ROCCA. He is a famous perfumer, if you guys haven't heard of him, and he's got his own line as well. But next, going to the house of XERJOFF. This is a standby for me from this house. It's one of my favorite fragrances from this house. This is ACCENTO Overdose, this one right here. ACCENTO Overdose really shines in the heat. Once again, it does have some deepness. It's not like this very fresh, ethereal, transparent kind of fragrance. There's depth here because this is pretty highly concentrated, but the kind of notes that use in here will shine in the heat, and especially in the humidity, this one shines as well. It's got green notes along with fruits. There's aldehydes here, jasmine, lily of the valley, rose, pine, eucalyptus. So it does have aromatic, spicy touches, herbal touches as well. Super green and fruity. The combo is awesome, and because it has that aldehydes note, it makes it for an easier to wear fragrance. ACCENTO Overdose from the house of XERJOFF. Let me know if you're familiar with that. Next, going to the house of PANTHEON ROMA. This is Il Giardino. This one right here. I'd forgotten about this one. I reviewed it on the channel probably 6 years ago, maybe 5, 6, I don't know, somewhere around there. But recently I did a video on this house. It's been a while and I remembered it. It's really quite great. It's a pear fragrance, pear focused. It's quite juicy, drippy kind of pear, so ripe. But this also has a pretty prominent ivy note in it. So ivy, green kind of note, vegetal, and the combination is super awesome. You experience the juiciness of the pears, but you also have some apples here, vetiver, cedar, benzoin, musk, a little leather, but also that ivy note that comes in here. Super fantastic creation. So that is Il Giardino from the house of PANTHEON ROMA. Next, going to a house called Parfums de Marly. I'm sure everybody knows this one. This has become a really favorite of mine. I need to get another bottle. As you can see, this one goes down. I liberally spray it. I like the juiciness here. I really like juicy fragrances in the summertime because they kind of, you get dry and it kind of quenches your thirst and things like that, even though, sometimes humidity might make you wet, like sweaty wet. But this one, to me, I really like the juiciness of the apples. There's a crispness about it, but this is also pretty musky with Cashmeran note, but it's green apples, Oakmoss, Petitgrain, Bergamot, mandarin, musk, and of course the apples in here. The juiciness, the crispness is super awesome. So this is Green Leaf from the house of Parfums de Marly. Let me know if you're familiar with that. So next up, going to the house of LOUMARI. This is PORTHOLE, this one right here. Now, if you guys haven't heard from this house, they have been redoing all of their bottles. I think they're just about to launch, if they haven't already. And we featured this in a Scent Club kit almost 2 years ago, and it was a hit, and the brand sold out of bottles, and a lot of people were writing and asking, where can I get a bottle of PORTHOLE, yada yada. And finally, they brought it out again, and you know, a lot of people went crazy bought. And I think it's a really solid fragrance. It's created by Camille Chamardin, who works at Flair, the Flair studio with the perfumers and Sophie Bahagel, Amélie Bourgeois, and you know, I'm drawing a blank with the names, but there's a lot of great perfumers there. And this is a solid, freshy, fruity, and salty as well with pineapple. There's a salty notes. There's a bit of gourmand notes thrown in. It wears really great. Again, it's not an uber fresh, wet, juicy kind of fruitiness, but it smells so good in the heat. And I think not the caramel, but the saltiness that's in here kind of tones down the intensity of gourmand qualities, so it just wears really beautifully, and I love that about this fragrance. So it's Porthole from the house of LOUMARI. Their bottles should be changed by now. Check them out on their Instagram. We're going to the house of Louis Vuitton. This is Pacific Chill, and what I like about this one, it is juicy, it is very, very fruity. It has, you know, a citrusy quality as well, so it does act a bit drippy, but it almost kind of feels like a smoothie, a fruit smoothie kind of combo with a lot of citrusy juiciness. So it wears like that, kind of like a health drink, but it smells really, really great. There's all kinds of yummy fruits in there, but it gives me like walking into a Jamba Juice, and they're, you know, mashing the fruits and things like that, blending to create these kind of smoothies and fruit drinks, and that gives me the idea of that. So it's Pacific Chill from the house of Louis Vuitton. Let me know if you're familiar with that. This next fragrance has become a favorite fruity fragrance of mine. I bought it 2 years ago and absolutely love it. It's a musky, fruity green fragrance, and it kind of leans a bit powdery as well, but it's so super sexy. This is MALIN & Guet's Strawberry, and I think strawberry is becoming a bit popular lately, isn't it, guys? But this one's from a while ago. I think it launched like 4 years ago, but I really, really love it. It's not like a childish kid synthetic kind of fruity fragrance. It's a bit more mature, and I like that. It's a kind of a younger strawberry, a bit tart, but also a bit green, and of course combined with the Oakmoss and the musks and things like that, it smells so good. I'm addicted to the smell, and I love this fragrance from the house of MALIN & Guet's. It's a house that nobody talks about. I think it's more about skincare there, but they do have a nice collection of fragrances. But this next fragrance from the house of Maître Parfumeur Gantier, this is Fresh Passiflore. Are you guys familiar with this one? Fresh Passiflore is an older fragrance created by the man who started the brand in '88. It doesn't even smell tired. In fact, I've turned so many people onto this, and they really, really love the juicy peach fragrance combined with passion fruit. It's called Fresh Passiflore. Passiflore is passion flower, I believe. But if you like the idea of a wet, drippy, juicy peach with the passion fruit, the freshness, the intensity, a bit deeper when it's drying down, it's a fantastic fragrance. One of the best peach fragrances out there. And again, launched so many years ago, still smells pretty modern here. This is Fresh Passiflore from the house of Maître Parfumeur Gantier. We actually featured that in a kit last year. It's become a hit for the brand. Please check that one out, especially if you love peach fragrances. All right, next up, going to the house of YSL, it's La Valliere, this one right here. La Valliere is a great rosy fig fragrance. The fruitiness shines on the figs. There's a slight greenness with the fig leaves as well, but the rose comes through as well. And the combination works really, really wonderfully. I never thought rose and figs worked together really nicely, but Annick Menardo, who created this fragrance, did such a great job with it. There's figs here, rose, bergamot. There's also geranium, jasmine, vetiver, cashmeran, musk, and blackcurrant. It's quite juicy here, but I like that combo of the juiciness combined with the floral touches, and it just really works wonderfully together. If you like your fruits combined with a little bit of rosy touches, this is really great, and it wears really wonderfully into summertime as well. That's La Valliere from the house of YSL. Then we're going to the house of Memo Paris. This is Corfu, inspired by the island of Corfu in Greece, and it's a rhubarb fragrance. So it's a bit vegetal, but totally fruity and also pulpy. Because there's that kind of pulpiness in rhubarb, you get that experience here, totally do. And I love that about this one. It's a sweet tart kind of fruitiness and also a bit green leaning, which makes for a really nice experience. And I always mention I really like tart fragrances when it's warm outside, and this wears really, really wonderfully. This has notes of rhubarb, there's lemons, rose, musk, grapefruit, blackcurrant, cassis. It's a fruit bomb. It's juicy, and the juiciness is also created with a bit of tartness, which I quite like. So that's Corfu from the house of Memo Paris. Then we're going to the house of Goldfield and Banks. It's Sunset Hour, this one right here. Yeah, this one's quite good. It is very, very juicy side. It's also very effervescent. Gives me like a cocktail vibe, something fruity at some kind of a tropical destination, but it's a bit breezy. That's the kind of experience I get with this one. And I like that they use Kwandong. It's a type of peach, and I think they did a great job. It might lean a bit feminine, but you can also layer it with a few other fragrances. But I think I like the fragrance on its own. It just overspray it, and you're really kind of flowing in air with all that fruitiness. It just smells really wonderful. And it does have a bit of a slight Baccarat Rouge-like vibe in there. Slight, not like it's not identical to Baccarat Rouge, which I quite like in this fragrance. It adds a bit of muskiness. So that's Sunset Hour from the house of Goldfield and Banks. This next one's from the house of Kajal. This is Icon, this one right here. Now this one's turned out to be really, really great. It's fruity, but it has a lot of depth. It's a bit creamy as well. And I don't know why, but Kajal releases a lot of fruity fragrances. It's if you love fruity fragrances, you got to dig into the fragrances of this house. My favorite from the house is Lamar. Not Lamar Noir, but Lamar. But this one's also really, really solid. This has notes of pineapple, ginger, passion fruit, mandarin, jasmine, vanilla, vetiver, pralines, black pepper, musk, sandalwood, and patchouli. Yeah, it does have gourmand touches. It also has that depth going for it. So it's not necessarily a fresh, juicy. It's just got this kind of a creamy, fruity layer, almost like a custard, but with the combination of fresh fruits as well. Icon from the house of Kajal. Let me know if you're familiar with it. Now this next one's uber fruity, but also focusing on apples. This is I Am Trash from the house of Etat Libre d'Orange. They've been around for a long time. I think they started in the 2000s. This is definitely a very easy fragrance to wear, but they did kind of start with some more challenging offerings. This is a lot of apples, and it's the juicy kind, and I believe it's upcycled materials they're using here. But if you like the idea of a lot of woods with juicy fruitiness of apples, this one's definitely going to satisfy. And I think this one, if you're challenged with something with a bit more depth, a bit more creamy, more gourmandesque, this is definitely something you would try, because it wears very, very fresh and super, super deliciously yummy fruity. So that's I Am Trash from the house of Etat Libre d'Orange. Up next, going to the house of Juicebox. This is Carioca Heart, and Carioca Heart is also a surprise fragrance. I was working on 54 with Juicebox when this fragrance launched, and I realized that it was created by Julien Rascanet. Also, this one shines in the heat. It's got more depth than your fresh fruity fragrances, but I love that. It leaves a great trail. It's super sexy. It's all fruity, juicy, boozy, and also a bit Middle Eastern-esque ambery as well. So yummy. If you haven't tried this one, please try it. I think if you love trails, sexy sillage and things like that, a fragrance trail is what I'm talking about. You definitely got to smell this one. It's not Juicebox's 54. I wouldn't really consider that a fragrance to wear in the summertime, even though I wear so much of it. I think I kind of offer ideas for people, mostly for people that are playing by the rules, a bit more appropriate for seasons. And again, I don't have that rule. I wear whatever I want, whenever I want. But this one totally shines in the heat is what I'm trying to say. So it's Carioca Heart from the house of Juicebox. Let me know if you're familiar with that. But next, going to the house of Un Nuit Nomade. This is Love at First Sight. This one is a pretty simplistic fragrance. It's super fresh and juicy, and it has passion fruit with lilac and also some musky notes as well. And it's really, really lovely. Lilac is one of my favorite flowers as a smell. And they did a really wonderful job. And I never thought about combining fruits with lilac. and it works really wonderful. It smells like combination of the spring season flowers with summer season fruits and a muskiness in the you know, the combo as well to give it some depth and longevity to the fragrance. But it's super, super fresh. Really wonderful. Love it first sight. From one of my favorite houses, Nuit Nomade. Then we're going to the house of Initio. This is Musk Therapy. Yeah, it's musk and fruit together, and I think it really works. And I think the fragrance I was trying to think of earlier from L'Artisan is Mûr et Musk, and it's a musk with a green blackberry or cassis note. And I think that was one of the very first fruity musks that I had ever put my nose on. This to me is much more modernized, but I think it's a similar idea and I really love it. The musk on this is super clean and super fresh, and you do get a bit of greenness, but it's all fruity and musky and perfect in the heat too. Really does wear perfectly in the heat, and it's one of my favorites from the House of Initio, even though it's not like one of their super amazing offerings, if that makes sense. I just love its simplicity and the ease of wear. So that is Musk Therapy from the House of Initio Parfums. This next one's from a house called Reinvented. This is Ethereal Soul, this one right here. Brand spanking new. Actually really enjoyed it. It's basically a cornucopia of fruits. So it's a fruit bomb, and also having a bit of a Middle Eastern twist in there as well, with prolonging the life with musky notes and things like that, like ambroxan and things. But it has notes of cherries, blackcurrant, musk, raspberries, moss, bergamot, lemons, iris, freesia, amber. Wonderful fragrance, really long lasting. It's an extrait de parfum. I love the trail. It's super potent and intensity, and it wears a bit playful and also a bit serious as well, with some of the notes combined together. So it's really fun and playful here, a bit mature and super musky. So that's Reinvented's Ethereal Soul. Let me know if you're familiar with that. So next, going to the house of Lark, this is Calda. Calda is a surprise fragrance. Really love it. It's a sparkling, effervescent fragrance with a lot of fruits. Imagine drinking like this very high-end champagne, and you've dropped like little berries in there, and actually the combination, the fruitiness is kind of like, you know, melting into the champagne, the sparkles, and then you're picking it up, you're getting the fruits and the champagne together. And it's kind of like a fruity gourmand, but very fresh and a bit green as well. But this is strawberries, cassis, champagne, cotton candy, dry amber, musk, lychee, jasmine, lily of the valley, and vanilla. So there's some warmth under there, but that lily of the valley, even the lychee fruit, I think provides a bit of greenness. But I also almost, when I wear this one, it acts a bit like rhubarb for me, because it is a bit on the tart side. And I think of it as maybe a lychee and rhubarb combo. But it's so effervescent and bright and sparkling and happy and fun and playful that definitely you've got to try it. Strawberries, once again, I think strawberries are trying to be or having a moment or something, but that's Calda from the House of Lark. Next, going to the House of Sospiro with Dolce Sonata, this one right here. So I'm not featuring Dolce Melodia. I've spoken quite a bit about that one. This one actually is my second favorite from the house still. And it's super sexy, really, really long lasting. It does remind me a little bit of Fenty by Fenty. I love that fragrance. This one's a lot more deeper and also leaning a bit more Middle Eastern as well. But when I wear it, it just always brings to mind when I was wearing a lot of Fenty by Fenty. You know how Fenty, when they dropped that fragrance, it ran out, and I ordered it on the second round and during the pandemic. I actually really love that, and I love that here. This is a more beefed up take on that kind of a fruity fragrance. But there is one thing that might turn people off about this one. It does get smoky and dark with a leatheriness. So if you can get past that, it's a super awesome fragrance from Sospiro. It's Dolce Sonata from Sospiro. Let me know if you're familiar with that. Next, going to the house of Lorenzo Pezzaglia, it's Summer Hammer. Yeah, it's a fun, playful, a bit tropical, fruity fragrance. Super long lasting if you like it extrait de parfum, and really, really intense. And I think it should satisfy in the warmer months to be smelling all playful and beachy and tropical and fruity. But it has notes of mango, pineapple, coconut milk, white flowers, marine notes, musk. And thankfully the marine notes are not super intense and overwhelming. But for me, I like that combination. It is a bit overwhelming though. I think if you don't like extrait de parfums or super long lasting fragrances, you might want to think twice about this one. But I really like it in the warmth. I think it smells better in the warmth because the whole entire combination gives me the idea of a beach tropical destination and, you know, eating and drinking the fruity drinks and foods that you might be consuming. So it's Summer Hammer from the house of Lorenzo Pezzaglia. And I'm ending the list with one of the latest from Sarah Baker. It's called Pastel Rumors. So I really like this one a little more than Peach's Revenge. Gives me a rainbow of colors, and I always think of Fruit Loops when I think of this one, because it does have a bit of a Fruit Loopy texture or a reminder with that milkiness that's in here as well. So it's not necessarily uber fresh, but a bit easier to wear and also a bit lighter in comparison to the other fragrances. This is super yummy and super fruity and a really great fragrance. And I like that it also has a bit of tartness. So that's kind of why it makes it a little easier to wear in the summertime when it's warm outside and things like that. I like this one a little more than Peach's Revenge and also Rococo Pie, which is the third in the Peach trilogy. This was also recently featured in our mystery box. Let me know if you've gotten a sample of it and what your thoughts are. But really lovely fragrance, Pastel Rumors. I like its fun, playful vibe and that whole fruit loopy, milky kind of thing. Takes me back to my childhood years. Even though I never really had too much Fruit Loops, I had it once in a while. And this totally gives me that kind of a reminder. So that is Pastel Rumors from the house of Sarah Baker. And that's the last fragrance for you guys. So let me know your thoughts on these 21 fragrances, fruity fragrances for summertime. Summer fruity fragrances. What are your thoughts? Do you have a favorite here? Have you been thinking of any one of these? Or is there another one that you wear that I didn't speak about today? Do add a comment below and let me know what it is. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please do list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.